the homies wanna be like on my knees in the night, saying prayers in the street light. Been spending most their lives living in the gangster's paradise. We've been spending most their lives living in the gangster's paradise.
Hello, welcome to the Underdog podcast where we talk everything Philly sports. I am your co-host Cole with the other co-hosts Deacon, Cody, and Shane. Today we'll be talking about a couple different topics. One of the topics we're going to be talking about today is who will be the best draft prospect for the Eagles. We're going to do a Phillies breakdown, a little bit of NL East predictions. Going to look at the Reagor Hurts duo, see how they'll do next year. We're also going to take a look into the Sixers. A lot to do on this podcast, so let's get straight into it. Deacon, who is your best draft prospect out of Kyle Pitts, Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase, and Devontae Smith?
Well, in my opinion, the best draft prospect in general is Kyle Pitts. I mean, like, he has to be one of the best tight end prospects we've ever seen because like he is like a picture DeAndre Hopkins in a tight end's body. That's what Kyle Pitts is. Like he has like some of the best hands I've ever seen. But like the better overall prospect is Pitts. But for the Eagles, this might be a dark horse. I'm gonna go Jalen Waddle. I think Jalen Waddle is the best prospect for the Eagles, but in general, the best prospect is Kyle Pitts. Like in general, but for the Eagles, I would take Jalen Waddle. Because
see, I'd personally. Okay, go ahead.
Let me finish. Okay, my reasoning for that is because when Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle were both playing, Waddle was outplaying Smith, and like I feel like just because of Jalen Waddle's injury, people are forgetting like how dominant he was this year and also in 2019. So I think overall Jalen Waddle will turn out to be the best receiver in the draft, and I think he's the best prospect for the Eagles.
See, I disagree with him being the best prospect, not because he's an amazing wide receiver, don't get me wrong. But my thing is we do not have a deep throwing QB anymore. That's like Wentz, yeah, he had an arm. Like every time he would throw the ball, it's more than likely you're going deep with him. But with Jalen Hurts, you're not going to be going deep that much. And Jalen Waddle, I feel like, is a deep threat receiver. So personally, I'd have to say Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is just such a big body, and he can honestly play wide receiver, tight end, anything we need. And we're a 2 tight end scheme usually, so I don't know if that will translate over to the new coach, Nick Sirianni. But if it does, Pitts is definitely my number 1 draft prospect for us.
Okay, one thing about that with Pitts is that if you have 2 tight ends like Goddard and Pitts, if you have 2 tight ends like that, Goddard and Pitts, what is easier? Play action. What did Jalen Hurts like succeed off of last year? Play action. So if you have that 2 tight end set, you can fake out a lot of teams. Because like think about this: if you have 2 tight end set, people are like 99% of the time thinking you're gonna run. But with Pitts and Goddard, like I feel like you can like fake out a lot of teams and run the play action very well, which Jalen Hurts was so good in.
Yeah, I agree. Cody, who's the best out of all of them in your opinion?
Well, I think Kyle Pitts is the best out of all of them. Like, I think he's the best prospect in the draft besides Trevor Lawrence. But yeah, Kyle Pitts, I like him a lot, but I don't think the Eagles really need Kyle Pitts. I think we need to go for like Jamar Chase instead. I think we need a good threat as a wide receiver because I'm not sold on Jalen Reagor or Travis Fulgham or Greg Ward. Greg Ward and Jalen Hurts have a good connection, but we need Jamar Chase. I feel like that's just my opinion.
Jamar Chase would definitely not be a bad pick. In my opinion, he's the second best out there for us right now. If I had to pick between him and Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle for the Eagles, I'm definitely picking Chase. And that's just plain because he's just, again, another big body guy. He's a great wide receiver. And I think his talent will translate to the NFL as good as any of the prospects in the draft right now. But moving over to Shane. Shane, who do you have out of the 4?
So obviously you and Deacon both said you think Pitts is, but me and Cole, we're both LSU fans, obviously. I think the best prospect for the Eagles and in the whole draft, besides Trevor Lawrence, I think it's got to be Jamar Chase. I think you always see people saying Justin Jefferson, he's great. Yeah, but there's like, if you see Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, I just think Jamar Chase is a way better prospect.
That's
He can jump up for the ball great. I just think he's perfect for Hurts. Like, yeah, Hurts doesn't have as good as arm as Wentz did, but like you can see with that during that Cowboys game when he threw that to Deshaun Jackson, that was an absolute dime. I think just imagine that with Jamar Chase. So I think Jamar Chase is definitely the best option for the Eagles. Kyle Pitts is good, but I would go Chase. I just think he's better.
And another thing about drafting a wide receiver is that like it would make Jalen Rager's job a lot easier because like I feel like if you have Jamar Chase, I feel like Jalen Rager could be a solid wide receiver too, and then you have Greg Ward coming out of the slot. Like I feel like that combination of receivers could be pretty good for Jalen Hurts.
That's a solid wide receiver for.
Because the problem with Rager is that Rager was like Rager was like going up against like cornerback ones, but now if you draft Jamar Chase, then you can put him against like cornerback twos, so it would be much easier for Rager.
Okay, another question I have about the draft. I'll ask Shane first again. Well, not again, but yeah, I'll ask Shane first. Shane, are you against trading back and either snagging Rashad Bateman or Patrick Surtain with our first pick in the draft?
I'm not against trading back. I really like Surtain. I would love to have him against Slade. I always like to say this. What happens when we play the Cowboys, at least this past year? We have Slade. He's a pretty good torched. But they also have two other good wide receivers. No one else is going to cover them. Who's going to cover them? Michael Jaquette? Yeah, like no. The other two are going to burn us, and we're going to lose. So if you could get Surtain, that would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I like what Deacon said a couple weeks ago. Waddle's available when you trade back. I'm taking Waddle because you got to remember, Devontae Smith was not winning the Heisman if Waddle stayed healthy. Waddle was better than Smith. Yeah, like Smith is really popular, won the Heisman Award, yeah, all that. But he was not winning it if Waddle didn't break his ankle.
I think trading. Oh, 1 second. I think trading back to like pick 8 because we know that the Panthers are in the market for a quarterback. So if we can trade back with the Panthers and get their second round pick, which is like the 8th overall in the second round, and we snag Jalen Waddle, we can go into this. We can go like into the second round with Jalen Waddle and 2 early second round picks. That would be pretty good.
Yes.
But my question is, let's say Surtain's off the board, Pitts is off the board, Waddle's off the board. All the guys we just talked about are off the board. We trade back to, let's say,
Micah Parsons,
anywhere from 10 to 15.
Parsons.
Would you consider taking Rashad Bateman?
No, I wouldn't consider taking Rashad Bateman.
He's good, but like there's just so many better options. I think.
To me, okay, Rashad Bateman is talented, but you have to remember he's playing in the Big Ten. The Big Ten is not as good of a conference. Like what's it called? Penn State started out 0-5, and they finished like top 4 in the Big Ten. Like think about like to me, I would rather trade back and grab like Caleb Farley or Surtain than trade back and get Bateman because
J.C.
Horn can be pretty good, but I don't know. But
yeah.
But you also have to think about trading back. Our draft, Howie Roseman's draft history has been terrible. Who knows if he's going to mess up because we're trading back and you can miss more now.
Exactly.
Like, so
that's my problem with trading back.
Yeah.
So we can all agree that the numbers we need to take somewhat of a receiver and a weapon for Jalen Hurts with the 6th overall pick.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Depending on what's there. Actually, yeah, I'd agree. Because like if you want Jalen Hurts to be the guy, you need to get him some help. You need to.
Okay, so I think we're going to move on to the next segment, which is about the Phillies. We're going to start off with NL East predictions. We're going to each give rank the NL East from the top to the bottom. I guess I'll start off because why not? Personally, I think the Braves will be winning the division. They were 1 game away from going to the World Series last year, and I think no team has improved that much to overtake the Braves, and none of these teams really have playoff experience except for the Marlins and the Nationals, but I don't think they've even went that far improved that much over the offseason. Number 2 is going to be the Mets. The Mets, they improved a lot, but again, you have to have experience in the playoffs. You have to have experience just overall. You have to have a better coach, and I just think Mets will finish second, probably make the playoffs. At number 3, I'm gonna have the Nationals. Nationals are slept on. Nationals are a really good team. Unfortunately, there's not extended playoffs, so we're probably not gonna see them there. But they're a great team. Number 4, the Phillies. I'm a fan of the team. I'm hard on them because I've seen it happen before. So that's why I'm putting them at 4. The Nationals also, I think, have a little bit of a better roster. I just don't trust the Phillies that much to go up and snag the third place in the NL East. And of course, at number 5 is the Marlins. I don't think the Marlins will be that bad, but they're definitely not going to be good. I think last year they took advantage of the situation and went full win mode. But this year, I don't think they're going to go full win mode. Cody, what's yours?
Of course, I got the Braves in first. They're probably gonna win 100 and more, probably like low hundreds, like 102 wins. But the Braves are just stacked. Like you said, Cole, they almost made it to the World Series. They are in Game 7 with the Dodgers. And then number 2, I got the Mets. But you also got. I'm also thinking that the Mets are gonna Met because they do that every year, and they say it's their year every year. So I got them probably low 90s, like 92 wins. And then I'm going to take the Phillies for number 3. I just feel like the Phillies are going to hit different this year. Last year, they hit different to me, but that bullpen was terrible. The offense was great. So we added a little bit to our bullpen, and I just feel like the Phillies are going to come over the Nationals, and the Nationals are going to be fourth because I don't think the Nationals are going to meet their standards like everybody is thinking they are this year. I just don't see the Nationals playing as good as everybody thinks they are. And then the Marlins, I got them in last, but they're not going to be terrible. They're a threat to the Phillies. We know that.
All right, Deacon, what do you have?
Okay, so number 1, I have the Braves. I mean, like they're just stacked. I mean, they Freddie Freeman, Acuna, Ozuna. I mean, Ozuna just re-signed. I'm pretty sure. Did he not, didn't he re-sign? Yeah. So
Yeah,
like
you
they're
resigned.
stacked. Number 2, I have the Mets. Even though I don't trust the Mets, I mean, like you can't deny their talent. I mean, they have Lindor, Syndergaard, and Stroman are back healthy, so I take them. 3, I'm gonna agree with Cody. I have the Phillies. I feel like last year, the main problem was the bullpen, and we added to the bullpen. Not to mention, you re-signed JT, you re-signed Didi, and and I feel a breakout year from Scott Kingery. So I think Phillies finishing third, fourth. I have the Nationals. Like, like they have like amazing pitching with Scherzer and who else? Who's the other guy they have? Oh,
Strasburg. Yeah.
Strasburg. I don't know say his name. And then fifth, I have the Marlins. Even though like the Marlins like own the Phillies, I think the Marlins are gonna finish last because I feel like it's like kind of like caught lightning in a bottle for that 60 game stretch last year. So yeah, 1 Braves, 2 Mets, 3 Phillies, 4 Nationals, and 5 Marlins.
Okay. Shane, what do you have?
So I'm actually going to agree with Cole, but I think you're just going to switch the Phillies and the Nationals. So this year, in my opinion, yeah, I agree the bullpen has upgraded a bit, but I don't think it's all that. I think this year, I don't know if you guys will agree. I think it's a make or break year for Joe Girardi. I think like the offense, the talent's there. I think it reminds me of the Cowboys. The talent's there, but can they put it together? Like obviously, there's a lot of talent on that offense, but can they put it together? So yeah, I literally have the same list as Cole, except I think Phillies will be 3 if they can put that talent together. If Joe Girardi can do it, that's what I think. It's all on him. Make or break year.
Yeah, we need to put the talent together this year. We have the talent to do something. And that's the reason Gabe Kapler got fired a while back. I don't know if it was totally his fault. I think it was more Clintack than Gabe. But Joe Girardi has to put it together this upcoming season.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to more Phillies breakdown. I'm going to ask anyone a question. Anyone can answer this question. Did the Phillies lineup improve, not improve, or stay the same from last year, in your opinion?
I'll go first.
Slightly improved.
Okay. I think it kind of stayed similar in my opinion because I mean yeah. Okay. Well, I mean we didn't really have any huge signings for in the in the lineup. I think it was like more like the bullpen that we had the signings in. So I think our lineup, like, I mean, basically like almost like changes, stay the same in my opinion.
I think it slightly improves, and here's why. Because Scott Kingery was terrible last year, and I got him playing center field for us, and I think he's gonna play much better than he played last year. So I think it's slightly better because he's gonna improve, and that's gonna be better for us. But otherwise, it's the same. We didn't really sign anybody for our lineup. We signed it for bullpen and pitching.
Shane.
I couldn't hear the question. What'd you ask?
No, I just like improved, not improved, stayed the
Yeah, like,
same.
I think like kind of what I said earlier. I think like Deacon said, no big signings, but like slightly improved, like a little bit. Like they'll be a little bit better, but they won't be like, like, oh, this team's, you got to be afraid of the Phillies. Like they won't be like that.
I'm gonna say slightly not improved.
Really?
The reason being is because McCutcheon's gonna start regressing, in my
So
opinion.
like slightly got
I
worse.
think,
Is that what you
yeah,
mean? Okay.
McCutcheon's gonna start getting a little bit worse. I think Hazley will start getting a little bit better, and I think Didi will not be as good as last year. I think Didi, that may have been one of the best seasons you'll ever see out of him, and I think he won't be as good as last year, but it'll be somewhat similar. So let's head to the rotation. Probably the last thing in the Phillies breakdown segment we're doing right now. Same thing: improved, not improved, or stayed the same.
I'll
I
go
think it
first
stayed the
then.
same,
All right.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
agree.
like we still have, like the same top three: Nola, Wheeler, Eflin. So I don't know.
I know, but our bottom changed a lot. I think because we included Matt Moore and Anderson, Chase Anderson, and I think
Yeah.
they are going to be starting. That's just me.
I think I'd say we improved a bit. The back end of the rotation depth is very important. We took care of that this year. We got Chase Anderson and Matt Moore. We even signed a couple guys to minor league deals. I don't know their names because who cares. Um, but yeah, the back end got better. The top three is going to be solid, as we know. And yeah, it's all for that. Move on to the Sixers. Deacon, what thoughts on the Sixers overall? Just give me everything. How are you feeling at this point in the season? You nervous? You not nervous? Where do you see the Sixers
Okay.
finishing? All this stuff.
I'm gonna say okay. I'm gonna leave this to Shane. So Shane, I'm gonna let you take it away for the Sixers. I'll let you take it away.
So I think you got to be pretty confident, dude. So obviously last year getting swept by Boston was horrible, but during this was one of the biggest off seasons in Sixers history. Our saviors are Doc Rivers and Daryl Morey. We hired Doc Rivers. He's one of the most respected coaches in the whole NBA, and people want to play for Doc. For example, Sam Cassell, he joined us. Dave Yeager, Daryl Morey joined us. That was one of the biggest signings of the offseason, at least for our GM. And Elton Brand made so many mistakes last year. Obviously, getting Horford that contract, he was not worth it. But then Daryl Morey comes in, he fixes his mistakes, signs Dwight Howard, trades for sharpshooter Seth Curry. He just makes a bunch of moves, gets Danny Green to create spacing. He just made a great job, and I think you got to feel very confident with the Sixers right now, being number one in the East.
All right, I'm gonna go. All right, so obviously you have Embiid playing at an MVP level. Ben Simmons has been balling. I mean, like you saw last night, Simmons put Luka in handcuffs. I mean, like Luka pretty much cannot do anything. And if Ben Simmons can like continue to lock down like top scorers in the league, like you saw what he did to Dame Lillard in the second half, James Harden in the second half, Devin Booker in the first half. Who else?
Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal. In Luka. Like Ben Simmons is a top tier defender, and I feel like that is key in the playoffs. That is key in my opinion. But overall, I mean, like I love the Steph Curry trade. I love what Daryl Morey's doing. I mean, Doc, like you said, is a really respected coach. Like players want to play for him. Danny Green has been pretty consistent lately. Like as of late, Green has been pretty solid, creating spacing and knocking down shots. Tobias Harris has been a pretty solid 20 point per game scorer, which we need. And here's the thing. One thing like I noticed about Tobias is that like he is that guy that can get buckets and play like 35 to 40 minutes. Because okay, out of like all the guys on our team, Tobias Harris probably like plays the most minutes. So like, like for Tobias to like be that like constant like bucket getter, like for 35, 40 minutes, I think it's huge. But overall, I mean, like it's gonna be tough to get past Brooklyn. I mean, they have KD, Kyrie, and Harden. But in my opinion, I think we'll probably make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And if we do make a move for like Kyle Lowry or Zach LaVine, I think that'll put us over the top. But overall, I'm really impressed so far with Sixers, and I think we can go far. In my opinion.
I think I gotta agree with Deacon. When he was on Tobias Harris, obviously we traded him for the deadline when we got Jimmy Butler in that 2019 year in the Kawhi shot. And obviously he didn't really fit in the rotation there. Everyone was kind of disappointed. And then the next year, everyone was really disappointed in Tobias under Brett Brown. Everyone wanted to trade him, huge contract, overpaid. Then they fired Brett Brown, hired Doc Rivers because Tobias before this season had the best season of his career under Doc Rivers with the Clippers. And they bring Doc, they're reunited. Tobias is having the best season of his career. And like every stat, like rebounds, assists, points, 3-point percentage, he's balling out this year. Great third option.
We're winning the finals. You heard it here first. And here's listen to me.
I like the hot
the
takes, Cole.
confidence.
I like the confidence. I like the confidence.
Listen,
that.
okay.
I was not expecting that.
We can beat the Nets. I know we can beat the Nets.
We are putting this.
All
in
they
the
can do is
TikTok
outscore us.
segment.
We are putting
All they can do is outscore us. Simmons is going to shut down someone. What are they going to do at that point? We have Embiid, we have Harris, we have freaking Simmons. Dude, it's hype. And then the Western Conference, bro.
Kyrie and Harden, though, you have to look at that.
Dude, trust me.
They have three
I have a
elite
good feeling.
scorers. Not to mention
But
Joe
knowing Philly,
Harris.
they may mess with my emotions, but I have a good feeling about this.
I could see it. I mean, like, here's the thing. To beat the Nets, you need to outscore them. And it's very hard to do that. But at the same time, if you have a defender like Simmons, and like in my opinion, when we play the Nets, I think we're gonna need to play Matisse Thybulle a lot of minutes because Thybulle is a very good defender. So in my opinion, I think like to beat the Nets, we have to be exceptional on defense. We have to.
And please put this in the pick guy.
And Joel Embiid needs to be on his A game that entire series. Like we need like 30 and 12 at the very least from Embiid every single game. DeAndre Jordan, Jeff Green are no match for him. They're no match. And I mean, like KD is good, but KD plays no defense. He does not play defense. James Harden is a pretty solid defender. Kyrie Irving, But like if Simmons can stay aggressive on offense and on defense, I think we can beat the Nets in a 7-game series. But as of right now, I would take the Nets to beat us. But I mean, hey, we're number one in the East. I mean, what are they, half a game behind us? So I feel like, So like, I feel like us versus the Nets will be one of the best series in the past decade. Booking it right now. Put this in the YouTube clip. Nets Sixers Eastern Conference Finals, best series, best playoff series ever. Calling it right now. Book it.
Okay.
Dude, how about
Game 7? Game 7.
How about Cole though? Right off the bat, like Cole, what are your thoughts? We're winning the finals.
Like, yeah. We're putting that in the clip.
That was right off the bat. Please put that.
Okay, listen. Listen. We're gonna need to move on from this segment because okay, but we're gonna move on.
Confidence was insane.
Okay, we're moving on though.
Right off
we have
the
two
bat,
topics
we're in the finals. All right,
okay, two topics to still get to, so we're gonna hurry it up a bit. Right. Our next topic, Hurts and Reagor. What are we going to see from that duo next year? We'll let Cody go first since he didn't talk much during the Sixers thing. So, yeah.
Okay.
Not a big basketball dude, so, yeah. But, I don't know how I feel about that duo because Jalen Reagor is fast, and I feel like he's going to go deep, and I don't know about Jalen Hurts' arm strength. I'm not sold on it yet. So I'm gonna have to see first couple games, and then I'll be able to tell like what I think of that duo. But
yeah, I respect.
Yeah.
I think that the Reagor Hurts duo, Reagor reminds me a lot of Djax, and I think he's not just gonna be this deep threat like Djax was. I think we're gonna use him more as like contested catches because he's good at that. We're using him on a lot of slant routes, a lot of drag routes just to get him and try to get him in the open field, screens, anything we can get him because he's so quick, and I feel like that's how we have to use him. And I hope that's how we use him, and I hope they both go off next year. Realistically, though, I don't know how I feel about it because I don't know if Nick Sirianni is really going to pick that up. I really hope he does. I'd say we get around 650 to like 900 yards from both of them. Anywhere in that range I can see from Reagor next year. But anyways, let me pass it off to Deacon. Deacon, what do you think?
Okay, so for me, this connection all like depends on what we do in the draft. Because if we draft a receiver, I feel like it'll like make Rager's job easier. But in my opinion, the real connection with Jalen Hurts is Greg Ward, because Greg Ward had 6 touchdowns this year, 6, and that is like pretty good for a slot. But back to Reagor, I feel like he needs to like put on some more like muscle and more weight to like come down with these contested catches, because like we saw him coming out of college. Reagor was really good. At just going up and snatching it. I mean, Reagor has one of the best verticals in combine history. So I feel like if you like utilize like his jump ball ability, I feel like I feel like Jalen could be a pretty good receiver.
Shane, what do you have
Dude,
on it?
Dude, I'm excited. I honestly am. Like I do agree with what Deacon said about Ward, because Ward had a pretty impressive year. 3 touchdowns from 2 different quarterbacks. I think Ward and Hurts had a really good connection, but I think I'm excited for young duo Reagor and Jalen Hurts. But I'm liking. I like what you said, Cole. I think Reagor does remind me of a D-Jax. I think if he can he did drop some easy balls, but he did make some impressive catches. Like week 1 against Washington, that was a pretty impressive catch. But against Seattle, I think he dropped a wide open pass, which he's got to catch those. But I think you got to give him time.
Actually, Jalen Reagor only had 1 drop the entire season. That was against Seattle. He only had 1 drop. And okay.
He's not overrated.
Ready. Okay. I'm going to give you some stats. Out of all wide receivers who were targeted over 40 times, Jalen Reagor was tied for 4th least amount of drops. That's one stat. Another stat. Out of all rookie wide receivers, Jalen Reagor was number 2 in target separation per route. I don't know who's number 1, whether it's CD or Justin Jett, but I don't know. But
dude, I know Deacon can agree on this. Like, obviously Jefferson's better, but Rager's going to be that dude who has a really good career, but it's going to be overshadowed by the dude who was picked right after him, and that will be Justin Jefferson.
I think it's a lot because wasn't there a guy that was a pick after MJ
Michael
in the
Jordan.
draft in 1980? Yeah, Sam
I forget
Bowie.
his name, but I know
Sam Bowie. Sam Bowie had a pretty solid NBA career, but at the same time, if you have a solid NBA career and you were drafted before Michael Jordan, like
I think
people
really
think
similar.
about you as like a scrub, but in reality, you were a pretty solid player. Like you're just overshadowed because of who got picked after you.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, okay. We're gonna move on to the final topic of the night. We're gonna shoot some love towards hockey fans all around. We're gonna talk about Carter Hart. My boy Carter's been struggling, man. My boy Carter has been struggling. It's like so weird. Every time he faces the Bruins, I see him give up like 5 goals. It's like
7 goals, dude. That was
7. That's
dude,
ridiculous.
It's tough. It's tough. I hate seeing Carter go through this.
Yeah, it's been
the
tough.
COVID Flyers
good last year, bro.
They are very.
He was really good. That the game 6 versus the Islanders when like the Flyers won like 4-3, and then the same game, Carter Hart was absolutely phenomenal. I don't even know what's happened to him. I don't even know.
I have no.
Yeah, we almost came back 3-1.
Yeah,
he's playing like an average goaltender when he's not facing the Bruins, but when he faces the Bruins, he is playing like the worst goaltender in the league.
He hasn't even been playing that.
I know
game.
it's weird. I don't know why. I think the Bruins always give us trouble, but the Cobras are the Flyers. They're COVID infected, dude. They had like 7 players missing. That's really important, but obviously Carter's got to.
But hey, what the Flyers did beat the Rangers 4-3. So
yeah, but that was with Elliott. And you can't excuse
That was
Elliott.
with
You
Hart.
can't excuse
I was with Elliott.
what's happening. I know the Bruins are good. Don't get me wrong. I know they can shoot. But some of the
Pasternak's
goals
insane.
he's letting in aren't even that
Paster's
hard to
insane.
save.
Yeah.
Like, of course, I'm a guy sitting here, but like, come on. He's mechanically, he's not right. Like, he's not in the right position at any time. And it's
His
frustrating to
angles
watch
are
as a
just
Flyers fan.
awful. The
Yeah, it's
angles he takes
terrible.
on
He
pucks.
looks
Look,
really off.
I
this year.
played, I know it's not the same thing, but I played as a goalie in soccer. I know what the angles look like, and everything I see from him are just not it, dude. They're not it. It's not it.
He looks lost.
Yeah.
I just don't get it. I don't know what's wrong. Like,
It
okay,
Mhm.
looks
I
like
feel
he's
like he's
never
gonna
played
like
hockey
fight
before.
back and then fight back and then turn it around. I hope he can. But right
Mhm.
now, Carter Hart just looks off. I mean, he looks
Mhm.
lost out
It
there.
could be a little bit of a slump though. It really could.
Yeah, I
I'm
hope
hoping it's a
he. I
slump.
mean, we saw it last year with his home against away. At home, he was probably the best goaltender in the league. Away, he was the worst goaltender in the league. It was It was
That's
another weird thing.
That's a great point. The Sixers last year, oh my God, they were so good at home. They lost like two games total.
Don't even
But
tell me
last
about
year, their
that game.
record on the road was atrocious. They were like, oh my God, 7 and like 18. That is
No,
horrible.
it was worse than that. It was like
It was
7
it
and
was
like
really bad.
it was like
It
7
was
and like
dude,
23.
you couldn't win on the road, but you're unstoppable. They're pretty good at home this year. They're better on the road, obviously, with God, but like still, Philly teams on the road. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's quite weird. We just can't play away from home. Like Carter Hart, man, he's just struggling against the Bruins. We played him a lot this year, and every time we played him, he's just been getting cooked. And
But
it sucks to watch so much. I just hate watching
It's
it.
not even like fun watching him because
No,
Like,
it's not fun
okay,
at all.
like last year, whenever like a team would like enter like our zone near Hart, I'm like, okay, yeah, Carter Hart stopping this puck. When like each time a team goes into our zone, I'm thinking they're gonna score. Like every single
Yeah.
time, whenever a team goes near like Carter Hart, I'm thinking they're gonna score. Last year it was like, okay, Carter Hart, he's gonna stop it.
Exactly.
But this year it's like, oh my God, they're gonna score. But like,
I mean, and you can't. It's not even like you can like you can't excuse that. Like you can't even be like, well, we had 6 players out against the Bruins because it wasn't
think
their
just
fault.
mental.
It was just Carter being terrible.
I think it's just
I mean,
mental.
it's
And-
not like
no, but
he's
we're
Yeah.
talking about
terrible
these home and
just
away
that
games.
game.
Like we're
Mhm.
talking about these home and
Terrible,
away
like,
games.
all season.
Yeah, Carter just hasn't looked good. But again, I hope he turns it around. I hope the Flyers start winning again. I mean, they won against the Rangers, but that's like a
They
cakewalk.
should make
I
the
hope
playoffs still.
yeah, we're gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's just how far can we get? We have really high expectations for them, and hopefully, it can carry them out for us. I think that's it for the podcast. Make sure you check out all our socials in the description.
We'll plug them in.
And
We are posting
oh
the
yeah,
Cole saying
description.
Sixers are winning it all in the TikTok.
Oh my God, that's got to be the thumbnail.
Bold
Cole
take.
right off the bat. Jesus,
Have to
Alright.
screenshot that.
I wish I was that confident.
I don't know why I'm that confident,
Alright.
but I am. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, and see ya.
Yes, sir.